We are so back, baby. Come on. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, lawyers for the injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast. This is Nate coming at you guys with a Miami Dolphins preview video. Damn, does it feel good to be back. The bye week was great. Get healthy. Get the boys some rest. Now we go. Second half of the season starts right now. Come on. Miami going up against the Las Vegas Raiders in Miami. Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. Miami 6-3. Coming off of maybe the greatest bye week in the history of the NFL with key losses by every bit of the competition. I mean, you just look around. Jets lost. Bills lost. Patriots lost. The entire AFC East lost. Ravens, who you're fighting with for a 1 seed, lost. Jags, lost. I mean, the list just goes on. Every single thing I needed to have happen. Oh, thankfully I have a piece of paper right here. The only one that didn't, I guess, is Pittsburgh. They're the only ones who won that I didn't want to win. But other than that, I mean, Cincinnati lost. Oh, great bye week, Miami. Well done. Vegas, 5-5, coming off of a hard-fought victory over the Jets. They just beat both New York teams in back-to-back weekends. Second straight win for the Raiders after firing Josh McDaniel. So second straight win for Antonio Pierce as the interim head coach. It's got the boys humming, getting back to the basics. They got that new coach smell. That's a big deal. It works every time. Both of these teams need this victory on Sunday. The Dolphins are trying to keep pace with the top of the AFC. The Dolphins are 15-2 in their last 17 home games. One of those losses, I know for sure, was against the Vikings with Teddy Bridgewater starting, getting hurt, or Skylar Thompson. One of them started and they got hurt and the other one came in, so I hardly even count that as a loss. And then the Packers on Christmas Day when Tua was playing with concussions and threw the horrible 3 interceptions in the second half. So those are the only 2 home losses in the last 2 seasons pretty much. Very, very good at home. Basically what I'm getting at is we want as many home playoff games as we can get. And the Raiders looking to scratch and claw their way back into the playoff picture. If you told me that a couple weeks ago, I'd have laughed and said there's no way. They're sitting at 5-5, man. They're right there. They're fighting. They need a win as well. So both teams need the victory. Let's look at the injury report. I'm going to pop it up on the screen for you guys here. Miami, really the big one for me is Robert Hunt at guard. It's looking less likely that he'll play. Would love to have him out there. We're going to be probably missing our 2 starting guards in Isaiah Wynn and Robert Hunt. And then Devon Achane, he's a huge question mark. Is he going to go? It's looking like he is. He's still on the injury report, but I'm really hoping he can go. He's a huge, huge player in this game, and I'll talk more about him shortly. But those are really the 2 big names to watch for Miami. For Vegas, the left side of their line are the big ones to watch. Colton Miller, starting left tackle. Dylan Parham, starting left guard. Missing 2 starting offensive linemen against Miami's defensive line is not ideal, especially when you have a rookie quarterback back there. So each team dealing with some pretty key injuries. How is that going to impact the game? I guess we'll find out. Let's look at the X factors that I've picked out for this game. First one I picked out, I just talked about him. I'm going with Devon Achane for Miami on offense, man. If he plays. If he doesn't play, well, Tyreek Hill, I guess. I don't know. But it's Devon Achane. In 4 games this year for the Miami Dolphins, he has 520 all-purpose yards and 7 touchdowns. That is insane for a third-round rookie running back. The kid is like another Tyreek Hill level player out on the field. He is so fast and just so good at what he does. And while Raheem Mostert has been awesome this year, I really think Devon Achane is a true difference maker on offense and just gives the defense another thing to have to think about. Defensively for Miami, I'm going with Christian Wilkins, man. Big Wilk. His strength is run defense. He is a great run-stuffing defensive lineman. Him and Zach Sealer are the best buddies up the middle of that defensive line. They are going to need to have a huge, huge impact on this weekend's game, and I'll get more into that. But what do the Raiders love to do? They love to run the football. What do rookie quarterbacks love to do, except for C.J. Stroud? Run the football. Christian Wilkins, it's time for a big game out of you, buddy. Your value is slowly declining every week, just a little bit more. And Connor Williams goes up. You're getting passed up right now on the next extension, pal. I love Christian Wilkins, but the Raiders are going to run the ball at you. Christian Wilkins, you have to make a stand. It's time. Time to earn your money and dominate up front today, Sunday, whatever, and win at the point of attack and keep them in long third down situations. Don't let them pick up 4 yards of carry and have these short third downs. Put them in 3rd and 7. Put them in 3rd and 8 where it's an obvious passing down and the dogs on the edge can get after rookie quarterback Aiden O'Connell. For Vegas, X factors, theirs are more obvious. Josh Jacobs on offense. Very, very talented running back coming off of a great game against the Jets, who have an awesome defense. Don't mind saying that. It's the truth. Championship defense and high school offense. But Josh Jacobs, 27 carries, 116 yards. They were just going to force feed him the ball. And that's smart. They have to do that because you cannot just rely on 4th-round quarterback Aiden O'Connell to step up and be the man. He's just not there yet. He needs more time. Josh Jacobs will keep the pressure off of him by making the Dolphins' defensive line stay honest. If we aren't just streaking up the side of the offensive line, Phillips and Chubb can't just go after the quarterback. They have to hesitate because it's probably going to Jacobs. That opens up so much more in the passing game for the Raiders. So the Raiders are really going to need Josh Jacobs to be Josh Jacobs in this game. And then defensively, it absolutely has to be Max Crosby. 100% in the Defensive Player of the Year conversation at this point in time. I don't think I included him when we did our mid-season awards. It was a mistake. He's got 9.5 sacks through 10 games. He leads the NFL in that. Dominant edge rusher. The guy looks like a Raider. Just take a look at him if you haven't seen his picture. He is a Las Vegas Raider to a T. That is what you expect to see on the other side in the black and silver. Dominant player. If he is constantly in our backfield messing up the timing of our offense, it's going to be a long day for our offense. We've got to watch him and shut him down. Let's get into the 5 keys to a Miami Dolphins victory. Number 1 is going to be neutralize that man, Max Crosby. Neutralize him. Leading sack getter in the NFL, like I said, with 9.5. Outside of him, their next highest sack total is 2.5 from linebacker Robert Spillane. If Max Crosby isn't getting home, no one's getting home so far. Knock on wood that doesn't change. If you slow him down and don't let him get to Tua, I don't know if Crosby's going to line up across from Armstead or Jackson. Whichever one, you've got to step up and stop him. He is going to be a problem. The rest of their defensive line does not get home. Do not let Max Crosby be the difference maker, please. Number 2 is going to be pressure the rookie. Only his 5th game in the NFL for Aiden O'Connell. He's missing his left tackle and his left guard potentially. You have to get home against him. Even if Colton Miller and Dylan Parham are playing, you have to get home against Aiden O'Connell and make him uncomfortable. He starts getting happy feet in that pocket, starts trying to throw before the ball is supposed to be thrown. He's going to start making the mistakes. He's going to get afraid of getting the hits. He's going to make the mistakes, and we got to capitalize on those. Go get him, make him sweat, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, and you're in business. Number 3, still on that side of the ball. Continue to rise up on defense. In the last 5, everyone beginning of the year, Miami's Dolphins defense is horrible. They're horrible. What's wrong with them? They're horrible. Last 5 games, Dolphins defense have allowed 9, 14, 31 to the Eagles, 17, and 14, which averages out to 17 points a game, which is fan-freaking-tastic. The defense has finally learned Vic's system, and all of the players are on it. We will have a starting defense, finally, out there on Sunday, and I'm so excited to watch Jalen Ramsey go up against Devontae Adams. And then they've got weapons in Vegas. They've got good weapons, but we have a fully loaded defense ready to go. We are starting to figure out the perfect time. I would love to see them continue to elevate their level of play, and by the end of the year, I want this unit discussed as a top 10 unit in the NFL. If we're going to make any noise come January, February, the defense has to be leading the charge. The offense clearly was carrying us at the beginning of the year. The offense got us to 6-3. The defense, let's bring it home. Number 4, no turnovers, please. The turnover against the Chiefs cost us the game, flat out. The Tyreek Hill fumble, that was the difference maker in the game. Their offense scored 14, our offense scored 14, their defense scored 7. That was the entire difference, quite literally. That was a back-breaking play when that ball came out and they returned it to the house. Cannot have it. Tua didn't throw any picks. Great. I need to see more of that. No interceptions this game. Hold on to the ball, fellas. I've noticed we have a bit of a fumbling problem. I don't love that. It makes me nervous. Let's just knock that off, please, and thank you. No turnovers. Teams will beat you if you turn over the ball. Just ask Josh Allen. In a game that we should win, we cannot give them any extra shots at us. Don't give them any chances to hurt us. Let them make the mistakes. Let them be the team that's trying to punch up at us, and let them throw the ball to our defenders. And let's not give them any motivation, any momentum at all. Just nip that in the bud. And then my favorite, number 5, as it is every single week. Run the goddamn ball, Miami. Devon Achane, back. Mostert has had another week to get healthy, and he has been awesome this year. The Las Vegas Raiders are allowing 136 rushing yards a game this season. Run this football down their throats. Listen, I would be ecstatic if Tua won the MVP this year. That would be awesome. However, I would much rather him only have to throw for 225, 250 yards a game and maybe a touchdown or two, because we're just running the ball down these people's throats. There's no reason to not dominate up front today. The Raiders don't get sacks outside of Max Crosby, and they're giving up 136 rushing yards a game. We need to hit 150, 200 rushing yards with Achane and Mostert and Jeff Wilson, those boys back there, raring to go. Has to be it. Don't ask Tua to do too much. Don't put too much stress on the defense. Let's dominate time of possession and run the damn ball. Thank you. Alrighty. Final verdict brought to you by Goldfine and Bulls. Miami, currently 12.5-point favorites when I wrote this down. I think it's actually moved to 13 or 13.5. That line is just flying. I think it opened up as 9.5-point favorites. I knew I should have bet on it. I knew it. I normally hate big spreads because it's just another way to be disappointed. And this is another game where Vegas is 5-5. They're a 500 football team. And Miami is 12.5-point favorites over them at home. It just goes to show you how good the Miami Dolphins are on their home field. And it's going to continue. It's going to continue. And it's crazy. I've seen so many people with this exact score prediction. I swear I've had this typed up for a couple of days now, just waiting for the right time to record this. Miami Dolphins, 35. Las Vegas Raiders, 17. Fins up. Dolphins move to 7-3, starting to stranglehold on the AFC East. And let's go, man. That's all I've got to say about it. Let's go. We've had a week to get right, a week to get the second bit of this season geared up, and to get the boys raring to go. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be a great game. Fins up, bitches, and we'll see you guys in the recap.